Morning.
Heimir, first of all, can I just check on the fitness of all your players? I guess I think Robbie Brady in particular.
Everyone is fit. Everybody will be training now. Everybody wants to play. And as a precaution, because both Josh Hoolahan and Jack Taylor were doubtful after the game, we called in Bossum Laval, and he's with us as well. So we have 24 players on the training today, and hopefully everyone will get through that one, but fitness is good.
Talk to me a little bit about Bossum, because he's been on your radar for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, Paddy and John have been talking a lot about him, but unfortunately I haven't been able to see him play. He's been more or less injured since I started, so just good to see him and get to know the personality and see him on training session. Looks fit, even though it's been a while since he stopped playing and training. So no, it's good to have him, see him, and knowing a little bit more about the player when it comes to September selection.
What would you see as his best position? Is he a midfielder? Is he a defender or centre back?
Haven't seen him in more than the midfield position, because we used him there on the training session. Looked comfortable in that position, but I've heard he's played both full back, centre back, midfield. So let's see.
Jordan Parrott had a bit of a bug, but I mean, obviously you need to see training today. But you're confident that he'd be ready to start with Chosen?
Yeah. He would have been able to play minutes in against Senegal, but and probably, if not the injury to Robbie, he would have played the last minutes. But yeah, he's fit and ready.
You mentioned that everyone wants to play, which is as it should be, but the likes of Casey McAteer, who was player of the match, scored the goal, Jack Taylor you mentioned, Will Smallbone, Ryan Manning, they'll all want to continue the progress they've made. You can't play everyone, right? How do you reconcile that?
No, unfortunately, it's FIFA rules, only 11. And yeah, the purpose of this camp was also to look at new faces, so we will make some changes. Even though we were really happy with the performance, we will make some changes for this game. Yeah, and hopefully everybody will have their time to shine. But of course, we would like to keep some consistency as well, and build on what we have been doing well. I think we played probably one of our best games as a team. And yeah, we don't want to miss that in the game against Luxembourg.
Do you see this as a template for the Armenia game, the first away game of the World Cup campaign?
Yeah, but it's similar. This camp now is similar to the one we will do in September, meaning we're playing the higher ranked team first at home, and then the lower ranked team away a few days later. And just the preparation, both mentally and physically, is important for us to prepare for September. Like every one of you know, that this World Cup campaign comes and goes really quickly, so we need to have everything spot on once it comes to September, and that's I think it's a good preparation for us.
We talk a lot about momentum, and you seem to have a bit of that now. How important is it to continue that run and to not get beaten tomorrow?
It's always important to win. For every team, it's always important to win, and just to get that winning feeling and make it a habit to do everything correct to win the matches. Yeah, it's for all of us important to win the game tomorrow. Even though we would say in a friendly, I would pick performance above winning. If we have a good performance, if we continue to improve in what we are doing, even though we are unlucky and will lose the game, I would probably take that more than a win if we are continuing to develop the team. It was the wrong way of saying it. Don't make that a headline.
Have you looked back at the previous games against Luxembourg, and maybe in particular the defeat in Dublin seemed to have a huge kind of psychological effect on the players and on the nation even?
Well, first of all, I don't look at Luxembourg like this. They have just shown in the past how quickly they have developed as a football team. I've had the same coach for a long time, really consistent in team selection. So it's more like playing a club team their knowledge of the game and with each other is really at a high level. And I watched the Sweden game when they played here. They beat Sweden 1-0. Could have scored more goals against Sweden. I know a little bit about them, so, and the strength of Sweden. So no, I wouldn't look at it as a shock to the nation if we would not get good results here. It's that good team that a win here would be really good for us at this stage. So I hope nobody is taking them lightly, if that's the correct word to say.
Nathan, if I can ask you though, do you remember that time, the defeat at home, and we eventually came away with a 3-0 win here, but it was a struggle at times, wasn't it?
I don't think I was in camp for the home.
You weren't for the home one?
No, for the away one I was, yeah. But it's just football, isn't it? Football changes, people change, managers change, teams change. I don't think you can reflect on that and look at that as if how that works on us now. I think we're trying to build something ourselves now. We have a fresh manager, we have a lot of fresh new faces. So it's a fresh game, it's a new game of football, and we can only go put our stamp on it and try win a game of football.
And can you measure the progress of the group?
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of people said I think Senegal was a really big step. I think everyone's seen we felt comfortable in the game, you know, we looked comfortable as well within our shape. I think everybody knew their role to a very high degree of it, and you could see it showed on the pitch. And it's just about growing that, it's about pushing that again, it's about just keep getting better. And we're fortunate now, we're building a squad where players are challenging other players, so you have to be at your best. And
are you feeling the World Cup qualifiers coming around? I mean, are you having conversations in camp about how close it is now?
Slightly, but again, we have Luxembourg tomorrow, and that's preparation for it. So that's the main thing at the moment, but that will come around quickly, you know, the World Cup qualifiers. But we just want to put in another good result, gain more momentum, and just keep trying to get better as a team.
Damien Spellman, please.
Heimir, everything you've done since you came in has been geared towards the World Cup qualification campaign. This is the last game of that. How much does the excitement you helped to create with Iceland all those years ago spur you on to test it again with Ireland?
Compared, I don't think I got it, but can you repeat the last?
Are you excited to repeat? Are you looking forward to trying to repeat that excitement that you created with Iceland?
Yeah, I think it comes automatically. I think the players feel that we are growing as a unit. It becomes because of we are repeating the same things again and again, and probably it's boring for the players to listen to the same things and the same meetings about the same things, slight improvements. But I think everybody sees it's working. And I've said before, basics first before details. But I think we're getting the basics pretty good at this stage. And the excitement comes with that. We feel that we are growing. We can play good teams like Senegal and look comfortable, like Colo said. And that's now one step taken. And hopefully we can have the same performance against Luxembourg. So it shouldn't be up and down performances. We should be consistent in what we are doing. That's the main thing. If you want to qualify, you need to get performances every game and play similar way every game and develop that style of play.
And one of the areas in the squad where you have strength is in your strikers. Is it difficult to find the balance between them, or is it just good to have options of different players in those positions?
The strikers,
yeah,
they are different. It's different kind of strikers. There's good hold-up players, linking players. There's good players going in behind. So it depends on what game we are going to play. What strikers will probably fit the game. But it's really good to have the competition and a healthy competition up front, like I would say in most positions. And that is one of the reasons we did this camp and left out some key players, is to have new faces, to kind of give them a chance to show what they can do. So yeah, just to increase the depth in the squad.
Connor?
Hi Heimir. Just on Boston Wall, was it a big decision from mainly Paddy and John to get him involved with this camp, to get him really embedded into the squad after not really playing last season, and maybe next season we'll be kicking on and having him embedded for come September if he's flying fit and playing every week?
Yeah, I think their view is from the under 21s. They were coaching under 21s one day
Yeah,
with Bossum, so they would know him as a person, as a player from then. And they had him last summer, I think, in this camp last summer. And one of the Irish players that could potentially become a first-team national player, and it's good to have this opportunity to call him in. We were lucky that he was in Dublin when we had these 2 injury scares. So next morning he was there, and that shows his dedication just to say yes and come.
We'll move into the embargo section now, so everything from this point onwards is 11 p.m. tonight. And Dan, if you want to get us underway.
Nathan, how much are you looking forward to playing with Cleveland every week?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I get on really well with him here. He shows his qualities as a keeper here as well, but I think he'll be even better when we can play and train together every day and just build our relationship a bit more on and off the pitch as well, just to help both Brentford, also Ireland as well. But I'm buzzing for him himself. I think it's a great move for him. I think he deserves to be number 1 at a club.
Were you involved in any of the sort of the process?
And there's a few people ask me what he's like, and obviously I spoke highly about him. I'm not going to lie. But no, listen, he done it all himself. You know, he's shown what he can do on the highest level of football, really, for Liverpool. So, as I said, he deserves to be number 1 at a good club.
Just, I mean, you half answered it there, but where do you feel this group is now as we come into September, maybe compared to this time last year? Do you feel that this group is ready to make that next step now and properly challenge for qualifying for tournament?
It was fair. This time I wasn't in camp this time last year. I missed it. I was injured, but I just think there's a bit more of a base in the team now. I think just a bit of solidness in it. You know, I think last summer it was a bit of it all up in the air, wasn't it? Everything with just regarding Ireland at the time being. But now I think the way the squad is, the way we have our manager here, everything's solidified. We're building our base. We're growing with that. We're working from that. And again, we're just trying to keep creating momentum for us to get better. And tomorrow's going to be another tough challenge, but it's another game for us to get better as a team and try to get another result to keep us going.
Neil, please.
Heimir, Boston, Killian Phillips, John Jones Patrick, they're all between 6'2" and 6'4". Is that a coincidence, or has that been something you've looked to do to introduce more height and physicality in the field?
Yeah, I think I've said that in press conferences before. We've had similar players, many similar players, similar quality. They bring in something different, and sometimes in games you need to have something different coming in from the bench or even starting the game. So no, it's no coincidence. We were looking for someone, and now it's a competition between 3 guys with this physique, if we can say, to show who is ready for the next step. All young players.
And does that make just Ireland a bit more competitive in the field if you have a player like that?
Yeah, like I said, sometimes in games you need to have that physicality, you need to have that height. So it depends on how the game we played before we started, or how the game has been played in the first half, or in-game decision that we need more physicality or more height. So it's good to have those players knowing how we want to play, etc. So if called upon, it will be no problem for them to come in and play the game. And I thought Killian did well coming in last game, even though he's only been with us 3 days. But he got his job, he understood it, and he did well.
John?
As a debut.
Oh, sorry. John?
Just the other day at Senegal, first hour they hardly had a shot, we really contained them, but they finished very strongly. Obviously they brought on extra players. What did you learn from that in terms of looking at Portugal and Hungary? What can we do better to avoid that?
First of all, I think they didn't create the chances they normally create, they got their chances from getting in the flanks and crosses, and we didn't deal with them. So I said after the game, maybe attacking the crosses a little bit better is a tiny detail. Tactically, we defended well. We had the numbers always back, so the mentality was there. It was this test against a world-class attacking team. Can we do it quicker? Was the mantra before this camp. Can we do what we are doing? Can we do it quicker? Can we press quicker? Can we shift quicker? And those things, we could have prevented crosses a little bit better last game. Is not losing a 1v1 against high quality team. I hope you watched the Champions League, the Nations League final yesterday. So both teams really comfortable that the game was like this. It was like a basketball game with all the individual quality. You would like the game to be like this, but we would like to control the game and don't get attacked and counter-attacking, etc., and have many attacks against us. I think we prevented that against Senegal, and we grow from there. That is the team we want to be. Hard to beat.
Owen, please.
If the World Cup qualifiers are starting tomorrow, would you be happy where the team is, or is there something you want to see tomorrow?
I guess I'm lucky it's not tomorrow, but I think we're lucky that it isn't tomorrow, as in we can still grow more. It's hard to think like that for me personally, because we have time to grow more. We do have time. We have time to practice together again. We have time to keep creating stuff. But if it was to be, I think I would be, to be fair. I think we'd be comfortable enough. I think we know the basics of what the manager wants, but we also know that he wants more from us. So both ways, yeah, I'd be comfortable. But again, we're fortunate enough that it's not, and we can do more and get better and prepare for it.
Aidan?
Nathan, just on that, I don't know if you got to see Portugal last night, but is that a sign of how hard it's going to be at the World Cup, given at the end of the season they went to the well, went extra time, they did so well? That's the stand Portugal have set. Yeah,
Listen, we knew that before. We didn't need to see that to know how good Portugal is. We know how good their squad is. We know the depth of players is unbelievable. But again, if we can do what we can control and do what the manager wants from us, and we will create our own problems against Portugal. We're a completely different team to Spain. We'll create completely different problems. We'll defend in a completely different way, and we'll frustrate them in ways they won't want like it. So again, we know the standard, we know how good they'll be, but they'll have to know that it's going to be a tough game when they play us.
Just for Heimir, I know you're not going to give us your team, but does Festi have a chance of starting, or is he more of an impact player like you did in Helsinki off the bench, or has he a chance of starting tomorrow?
Yeah, everyone has a chance of starting tomorrow, but you will see if he starts or not. But yeah, he has a chance of starting like all other players.
And just in the injuries you mentioned, is it a concern over Josh Owen because he's mid-season that you don't want any player to get injured, but Jack will have a break? But the fact that Josh has a big game on Friday, is there a concern? Or
yeah, that's why we didn't train him yesterday. And we sent him to a scan just to make sure that everything was okay. It was just he was shooting the ball and felt something in the thigh, but he was treated. Just did some light cycling yesterday, and felt much better today. So probably it was just a minor thing, but we took it with precaution just because he is in season. Shouldn't have injuries from shooting or striking a ball, but. This morning he said he was feeling fine, so no scare there.
Mark?
Nathan, you said the team has to grow more. What areas do you think the team has to grow more in?
Oh, you're throwing curveballs at you now.
The areas he wants us to grow in. No, I guess, as he said already, that the chances we conceded against Senegal were. We could have defended better, we could have attacked the ball more, we could have been a bit more proactive, and probably again, seeing that game out, I think if we want to get to that next stage, we have to see a game like that out. I think we're definitely good enough. I think we're definitely good enough to go score another goal, but we're also good enough to not concede and not give them chances that we did concede, unfortunately. There are little things we can grow in, and then there's loads of individual things as players, as defensive units, as attacking units, and we can grow on a lot together. But I think taken away from the last game is that if we can go and take our chances and go kill a game off, or if we can see a game out and just be solid and solidify ourselves, and winning games like that will be massive for a come World Cup.
Finally, Paul.
Nathan, are you keeping an eye on the club situation as well? Your manager linked with other jobs?
Yeah, every time I see it on TV is something I can't get away from it really. But I can't really worry about that right now. I have my own problems with games tomorrow and staying fit and looking after myself. So I haven't taken too much of an interest.
But for quick game as well, like the man who signed them.
Yeah. No, we've been joking about it, but he's all right. I think Brentford's it's a good club where whatever happens, they'll have a plan. There's good people behind in the backroom staff. That whatever does happen like that, there will be a plan. But if he stays, then even better, you know. But we can only see what can happen.
Can I just ask you one about the England game back in November, like 4-month break after that before the Bulgaria game?
Yeah.
Did that offer the team some sort of chance to reset, like 3 games unbeaten now this year? How do you reflect on that sort of moment? And
It probably, for me personally, it probably created a bit more of a hunger in me, especially a little hunger and desire to do better for Ireland. I think that one hurt a lot of people. I think it affected a lot of people, and it was probably nearly nice to have a little break away from everyone just to reset and get ready to go again. You know, because if we had a good result there and then there's a long break and then you're like, oh, we have to wait. But considering what happened, it hurt. You know, the dressing room after was not a nice place. But for me, it created a new hunger, and it did definitely reset me to go and want to do better and improve for the next camp. So yeah, it might have worked in a good way for us.
Thank you very much. Training starts